Okay, what's going on? So let's kick off what's happening right now in Canada. So we're going to be reading more headlines today than actual articles. There is just so much happening. You guys have no idea. Insured mortgages on Canadian real estate are dropping at the fastest rate ever. This is a big problem. Don't tell your friends, but the bottom of the Canadian real estate market is disappearing fast. Bank of Canada, BOC numbers show that the balance of insured mortgages debt is down. In Q2 2018, the decline of insured debt isn't just negative either. The drop of the balance of insured mortgage credit is the largest. It's the decline insured, the drop insured is the largest in Canadian history. This is a big deal. Over $508 billion in mortgage debt is insured. Here's the Canadian mortgage debt. Look at it decline like an elephant. Boop. It's doing that elephant thing. See the elephant trunk there? Canadian insured mortgages credit change. Look at 2012. Went nuts. And look at it now. Woof. It's it's going back to 2008 numbers right here. Look at that. Look at that. Q2 2018. It's even worse than that. Next. Canadian reserve mortgage debt rises over 42%. Growth begins to accelerate. Again, I don't know why people are taking on debt they can't pay back. A lot of senior Canadian real estate owners are still seeing their home equity die a slow death, but the rate of growth is tapering. Reverse mortgages explained for millennials. So basically it explains reverse mortgages, HELOC, second mortgages. We talked about it on the show. Canadians now owe $3.03 billion in reserve mortgage debt. It's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Canadian reserve mortgage debt. There it is here. Look at it. Look at it just skyrocket and take off. Just over $3 billion. Massive pace of growth may be tapering. And Canadian reverse mortgage debt change. There it is here. Obviously, people are running out of equity, right? The rate of growth is falling, but it's unlikely to go negative anytime soon considering the product. Since the debt is issued to a demographic of people on fixed incomes, it's highly unlikely to be paid off. That means it continues to snowball into larger liability as time goes on. As interest rates rise, so does the rate of equity that dies until the sweet release of death. So, if you're on a fixed income, you're screwed. I'm not trying to tell people not to be on a fixed income, but Canadian mortgage growth falls to the lowest level since .com crash. Oh my God, they had cassette recorders back in that time. Slowing Canadian real estate sales are cooling mortgage growth very quickly. Bank of Canada show numbers of mortgage credit growth continue to decelerate in September. The annual pace of growth for outstanding mortgage credit is now the slowest pace we've seen in 17 years. On track to go lower. This week's top stories. Toronto and Vancouver find itself with more new home inventory, and the CMHC think Canada is overpriced. Oh man, of course it is. This week's top story, Toronto and Vancouver. I'm going to go here. The Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, Canada's national housing agency, thinks Canadian real estate is overpriced. The agency's quarterly report calls the national market overvalued and highly vulnerable. Toronto and Vancouver were both called out for both of these factors as well. Montreal, on the other hand, is moving with region's fundamentals. Vancouver is the fastest cooling real estate market in Canada. Toronto not far behind. Canadians hang on to more cash, but still looking at a credit slowdown. Greater Toronto new homes see fewer sales in September 2008. And Vancouver pre-sale real estate supply is ramping up, sales drop. So people are not buying no longer pre-sales anymore.